Oops, shit.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. I've hit go live, people. I've hit go live. Well, that was a mistake. I hit the wrong button. But hello, everyone. That was very unintentional.
Uh,
But what the hey? Yeah.
if you go to Discord,
Whoops.
you could read. We were actually starting a little soon.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it happens.
before we discuss things. So of course Jenson's going to be surprised with everything we talk about.
But that does add to the fun. Come on, it really does.
It's part of the ambiance that we do here, serving these things for everybody.
Yeah. My total incompetence. I'm not shocked at that first one, mate. I really ain't.
You
Then
just
again, I come from England.
you just got button happy. See, it's what happens when you get button click happy. Hey, we all do it.
Yep.
We all get to that
Uh,
point. But are you ready for the first story, Jensen? Are you ready for the first story?
I am ready, sir. Off you go.
For Russian comedians, political satire is no joke. It can land you them in jail. From the Washington Post. Robin Dixon and Mary Ilisina. I'm probably butchering that name, but I apologize. Right, a Russian comedy troupe, in a small provincial city was doing just fine. It clocked up millions of YouTube views with mischievous political satire. Then the comedians did a gag-in, which a drunken political boss with a grenade launcher blows up an entire election poster for President Vladimir Putin's United Russia Party. They each could get up to 8 years in jail, charged with extreme hooliganism. Okay, WAPO. Why is this an issue for you? Okay, you didn't have a problem when they did the same thing in Britain.
No, you notice that, don't you?
All right. You know, when the cops came in and grabbed Count Dankula and charged him with a crime, where were you? You're worried about Putin, right? Well, I'm worried about the United States doing something stupid like this. And it's coming because it happened in Britain and you said nothing.
Nope.
These people
No,
couldn't give a
unfortunately.
shit about. I'm sorry, Robin Dixon. I'm sorry, Mary. All right, you guys are full of frickin' crap. Not that this isn't that people need to know what Putin's like. We've always known what Putin's like. This is a surprise to no one.
No.
Or am I missing something?
Oh, good God, no. I mean, to be honest, okay, this is going to be difficult to understand, but it actually could be worse. You're thinking to yourself, how the hell could this be worse? Really easy. I'm assuming you know about how Scotland has now made, and I'm going to enjoy saying this because you're American, and it produces a reaction on Americans, but they've made free speech illegal.
Yeah.
That is all I need to say. The thing that your country finds the most important thing, or at least at one point, is illegal in Scotland. I.e., if you and your friends are sitting around a table watching the local sports team, going hoorah and things like that, and then one of them turns around and goes, "Oh look, that," and I want you to modify the words appropriately. That POC in the goal didn't stop the ball. Wasn't that silly of him? I hope you notice I'm really bending how I'm saying this here, okay? We've gone. It's not yet 5 minutes on playing nice.
Yeah.
If
No, I understand, but that's the point. It's like
yeah,
you guys are sitting there bitching about Putin and lack of freedom of speech. while you're ignoring what's been happening around here. You know, it's like you were concerned about freedom of speech. No, you're not. Don't try and come back to me. This is the problem that I have with this: is they do stuff like this as if, oh, this is an important issue, as if you really care. Well, if you cared, why didn't you do the story in Britain? Oh, because it was
Yep.
you didn't like the person in Britain. Okay, you don't like it. So freedom of speech, your big attempt to saying, well, we're gonna be we're gonna be the defenders of freedom of speech. But you weren't there, were you, when it needed to be really defended in the United States or in Great Britain, were you? No, no, no. In fact, you were silent about it because you don't really believe in freedom of speech. Okay? It's not about that with you. You make a lot of noise like it is, but when push comes to shove, when the rubber meets the road, it's gone. Because it isn't about freedom of speech. It's about pushing your freaking Marxist agenda. And I'll be honest with you, you would have no problem, all right, if a comedy troupe in the United States did that to Biden. And you said if that was a Biden thing, you would be all sorts of upset calling for these people to be jailed. That's who you are. Don't come back and cry to anybody about and give these crocodile's tears that you're missing freedom of speech. All right, the speech that needs to be protected is the offensive speech. Is the speech people find offensive.
Yeah.
Especially political speech.
Yeah. Before I do what I'm about to do, Nomad, we've gone past the 5 minute warning, so that's a bonus. Are you a person who overly cares about people doing things on your stream that YouTube might not like? I'm giving you the option here.
What are you planning on doing, Jenson?
What I'm planning on suggesting that people find the reason to go to www.returnyoutubedislike.com/install and get that fucking number on your dislike buttons back. It will do it for free, people. You can get the amount of people that dislike the thing back no matter what YouTube likes, and they really don't want people to do it. But I strongly suggest you do.
You're saying that people, that you might do something that YouTube might not like tell people where to go to get the dislike button back. Is that what you're saying? You're wondering if I should allow that on the stream?
Well, I'm thinking it would be really bad if I accidentally put it into your chat. That would be disgusting, and I would hate to do something like that without permission.
What was that website again?
Nothing at all. You carry on, sir. Carry on.
You know me better than that.
Oh, yeah. I know. But the way I look at it is this. YouTube really gets pissy about this, so it's happened now, so hey.
Well, a ban is coming anyway. Let's go on to the next story. No arrests after hundreds of killings involved in a brawl at a Tampa trampoline park. Parents who take their kids to a trampoline park in Tampa, Florida, want to know how a fight turned into a massive brawl involving hundreds of children. Children, huh? Let's read a little bit more. This escalated very quickly, according to the parent, Sandra Bermudez. Not trying to butcher your name, ma'am. All right, who started recording on her cell phone when the fight broke out. Because most people think when they've got their child with them to whip out their cell phones and start taking pictures, not picking up their child and heading for the exit. Just pointing this out. Okay? They were all having fun, and then when this lady said, "Oh my God," and I turned around and looked, and they were fighting on the right side. Bermudez, I'm sorry, I'm just going to call her Sandra. Sandra says that the fight unfolded while she was at the Sky Zone trampoline park on Adamo Drive with her 9-year-old son. She's not sure what started the fight, but it quickly got out of control. Well, I'm sure of that she doesn't know what started the fight because somebody else saw it first.
Yeah.
According to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies, the melee involved about 200 kids, mostly teenagers. Ah, so they wasn't kids. It's
Nope.
teenagers having a brawl. And what's good is the staff got in there, kicked these guys out into the parking lot where the brawl continued because the cops were Johnny on the spot. they came right on in.
Cough, Hunger Games. Cough, cough. Just saying.
Deputies can be seen responding later in the video. They said that the brawl spilled out over into nearby businesses, and they tried to track down the parents of those involved. If it's teenagers, you're not tracking shit.
Yeah.
Okay, all those involved. Let's be honest. You know what this was? This was gangs.
Oh yeah.
This was gang related. And somehow this is gangs. I've never heard of a trampoline park before. Okay, I'll be honest with you. All right, I don't know why you would create a trampoline park in Tampa. Right, I'm not saying it's not a cool thing. I don't know anything about a trampoline park. I've never been to one.
Nah.
Right, I assume that they're trampolines where because I see a basketball hoop that you just bounce on the trampoline and dunk a basketball. Right.
More than likely, yeah.
I don't know how much it costs to go into a trampoline park.
No.
I can't see a trampoline park being any safer, however, than monkey bars we used to have back in the old days. But, those metal slides that you would burn your ass on in the summer when you went because they were 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Yeah, you know those great big ass Q-tips that they use to do the hand-to-hand fighting in the military?
Yep, the bugle sticks.
Yep. Imagine those on the trampolines. Trampoline facing each other and you get to beat the living hell out of each other with those sticks. That would be awesome.
It would add a different dynamic to it. I will admit that.
True.
But my point of this is first of all, if you've got your 9-year-old kid there, why are you whipping out your cell phone? All right, to try and take a picture of this. Why aren't you corralling your child and leaving? All right? I mean, that's what I would do. No, time to go.
Yeah. Again, I want to interrupt. I am that guy. I have actually seen a video of a gentleman takes his child to the zoo, and most normal people, they've got their eye on their kid, they're not letting anything too bad happen, and a camel decides to come over and swallow the child's head. So does the parent A try to rescue the child, B thump the camel, or C pull out his phone and start taping it? I'll give you a clue. It's not A or B.
Oh, look, little Johnny's getting his head crushed by a camel. I wonder what... Oh, look, let's get a video of this. This will be memories.
Yeah.
No, this will be trauma. This will be... This will be something that the child will be talking to his therapist on because you're a dumbass as a parent.
Yes. That kid is not going to want to go anywhere near anything bigger than him ever again in case it swallows his head. And by the way, I'm not joking. Its lips were wrapped around his neck. The head was in his mouth. It was funny as all hell. Horrifying, but funny as all hell.
Yeah, I don't think that kid is going to be a happy camper for a while. But at least he couldn't witness what his parents did. Oh, we were trying to get you out. Bring it in closer. You can hear his muffled scream inside. People are
Could you imagine how the kid's going to react when he sees that on YouTube? The trauma he's going to feel knowing his dad.
Oh, and you know his parents or his friends are going to show it to him.
Oh, good God, yes. I know
Right?
I would.
See, because what's more is your friends want to traumatize you. It's just that way in the world. Uh,
No, no, it's true.
Next story.
Yep.
Man claimed a big snake invited him into enter the neighbor's home at 2 a.m.
Meth's a hell of a drug.
A
Just saying.
Louisiana man busted early today for allegedly trying to enter a neighbor's apartment at 2 a.m. explained to the police that a big snake told him to open the victim's door and go inside, according to the arrest affidavit. This guy's lucky to be alive. Okay?
Yeah.
For all those people out there, this is why you carry guns. Alright? This is why you have a shotgun waiting to greet an intruder. On a related note, Jesse Terry, 52, also reportedly told arresting officers that he had smoked crack within the last hour.
No, really? I'm
Terry,
shocked.
Terry was collared after the police responded to the West Monroe residence of a woman who reported that Terry attempted to open the back door of her apartment. During the police questioning, Terry, who lives near the victim's residence, reportedly spoke of his recent crack use and how he was told to open the woman's door and enter her home by a big snake. The reptile in question is not further described in the arrest affidavit. Terry was booked into the local jail for unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling, a felony, and disturbing the peace, a misdemeanor. Affidavit notes that Terry has a lengthy criminal history. Well, I mean,
Ah.
if wildlife is telling him what to do, imagine what would have happened if the gator had told him what to do, right? This is a stick up, but it's not a stick up. See, the gator told me to rob the bank. The gator told me to come in here and get all the money. It's for the gator. What do you mean the falcon was telling you no?
I don't actually know what to say to this, but wow, these people are stupid.
Oh no!
Oh
You know what's stupid? This!
God. Oh
Alec
no.
Baldwin, alright? Exclusive. The
Oh,
trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger. Yes, Alec Baldwin, the guy who shot a camera woman, alright, on his set, alright, with a loaded gun. You know what? He went in there and he rented the wrong gun. He got the automatic firing gun, the gun that jumps off the table and shoots people at random. See, he didn't know what he was ordering. He thought he was just ordering a loaded handgun. Instead, it's the gun that pulls its own trigger.
yeah.
He can decide on his own.
The worst thing is you're making jokes, but you'll probably find he's going to use that as his defense excuse.
And he did. He went on national television and told everybody. All right, that
Oh,
was
Jesus.
aired,
Oh, God.
that he didn't pull the trigger. That the gun just went off on his own.
Wow. You know, we were talking about that man who was smoking crack and thought the snake did it. Are they sure it's not him? Okay, is there something, you know,
I
I
would,
didn't shoot him, officer. The gun did it. I just happened to be holding it.
I would never point a gun at someone and anyone and pull the trigger at them. Never.
Sure.
The gun was waiting. It knew. It waited for him to lift it up, and I didn't pull the trigger on the gun, but the gun got in contact was in line of sight of somebody and blew them away. Now I know I'm making fun of this, but it's tragic because this woman lost her life. Right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's a tragic situation. Right? It's the problem with all of this remains the same thing, which is why was there a live gun on the set? Why was there a gun with a loaded gun on the set?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how did a gun get loaded with live ammo, and how did that get on the set? They haven't. Nobody has any explanation for this right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a movie set. Okay. I can believe that a gun that somebody brought and said, okay, this is going to be the prop that they didn't check. Okay. Could be loaded with a cartridge or a live cartridge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that happening. But I think there's more to this story than people are saying. I think on this set they had guns that had, live ammo. That they were using live ammo as part of something that they were doing on the set. And
oh look, we're going back to the 70s. Snuff movies are coming back, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think that. It's kind of hard to get a snuff movie when the person pointing the camera already is the one who shot. The cameras don't have a reverse angle.
But that shows you how good they are. Actually, that was the thing during the 80s, wasn't it? They'd actually show the bad guy spraying the gun, and you'd see like the camera lens, air quotes, break. Didn't they do that in like the 80s or something? I seem to remember.
I mean, you have that kind of thing going off in at the start of every James Bond movie.
Oh, there you go. Oh my God, you're telling me that Alec Baldwin thinks he's James Bond.
Do I believe that he thought he was James Bond? I do believe that he probably did think he was James Bond, was doing something like that. Now, do I believe that he knew that the gun was loaded? No. Do I believe that the gun pulled its own trigger? No. Okay. I think that these people get flippant with things, all right? And I understand. It's not that I don't understand it, and it's not that I don't understand why they get flippant with it, but it's always a mistake. You've really got to, unless you've gone through a situation where you've almost died due to somebody being stupid with a gun. Too many people do not understand what it takes to actually, be safe with a weapon. And unfortunately, a woman lost her life in this case. All right, it is what it is. I don't know what else to say. But at the same time, Alec, no, you killed the woman. I know it's horrible. I know you didn't mean to. All right, that feeling that you're feeling today of disgust, all of it, I understand. But guess what? You get to live with it. Because you're not going to
bring back gun safety lessons in school. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that, you can go through all the gun safety lessons you want, all right? But unless you see somebody do something stupid and almost kill somebody, to be honest, it goes in one ear right out the other, especially with teenagers, right?
Yeah.
I was almost killed by a friend of mine. It's always the friends that almost kill you.
Yeah, you notice that.
And he invited me into his house, and then upstairs where he had a 30-30, right? That he was going to show me the 30-30 that his dad had given him, because we're teenagers and hunting's allowed when you're at that age. And he pointed the 30-30 lever action at me, levered it right, and then click. And I said, "Don't you ever freaking point a gun at me like that." And he said, "Oh, don't worry about that. It's not. I just got done cleaning it. There's nothing in there." And he racked it again, and click, and then he racked it one more time, and it went off because he actually changed it around. Now a 30-30, okay, into my midsection, all right, would have put a nice hole in me. from about 5 feet. Okay, I'm just letting you know it would have done some damage. All right.
Yeah.
The nearest hospital, okay, was 20 miles away.
Ah.
Right. This was in the farms. This was the farmland.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made it.
No.
Okay.
No, come on, walk it off. You'll be fine. It's only a bullet.
Just flesh wound, right? Just you learn these things. It was funny because I was like, in the after effect, because of course he put a bullet in his floor, and it went through the
Yeah.
floor and into the ceiling of the bottom floors. When the parents came up, what happened here? The parents weren't pleased that their son put a hole in
No.
them. We don't know why.
Can't think why. Yeah.
So from that standpoint, it was a valuable lesson.
True.
Right?
Thing is,
And I can laugh about it because I wasn't actually shot. I suppose, or I survived, obviously, right? So I can't.
Yeah,
Laugh. But it's easy
I
for
bet
people to
you.
forget that.
I bet you that he now checks the guns whenever he pulls that trigger.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's a learning experience.
It is.
That's all I'm saying.
It is. It is a learning. There are things that people do, all right, because when they're not familiar with things, and even when they're familiar with it, people who have gotten used to a certain type of action, right, by rote, right, do stupid things, right?
Oh yeah.
For example, there was an MP, right? They decided to move the MP, this MP, from the 38, right, and give her a 45 automatic.
Okay.
And the reason that they had given females 38s was because 45s for the smaller females would literally break the wrists, right? Would chip bones in the wrists. People don't understand this. If you're too small, the recoil of a 45 it's slow in comparison to like a 9mm, but it is heavy because you're throwing a good hunk of lead out there. Right?
Yeah.
So they took her and they showed her everything, but because she had gotten into the rote of charging the weapon, when it came to clearing the weapon, she always cleared it wrong. Okay? She would pull the charging handle back, let it go forward, drop the magazine, and then there's a barrel there. All right? That you dry fire into the barrel. This is what they do. Right?
Yeah.
Right? They did it like 4 times with her, and she fired a round every time into the barrel.
Wow.
Because you know, after you do it the first time, now every time after that, you're already nervous and you're on reaction. But you also got to remember that's the first action they teach them when they're getting ready to fire at a perpetrator, right? You got to charge the weapon. Okay, so it's understandable, right? You can say that the woman is stupid because she just got nervous and everything else. But I've seen guys do it too. It's not a male thing versus a female thing, right? It's a matter of what you do by rote, and you're not thinking. There's a reason there's a barrel there. There's a reason that they dry fire into a barrel because it happens a lot more than people realize.
Yeah.
And people make bad assumptions. People make bad assumptions all the time about a weapon they think is not loaded. Okay, being loaded.
So, Nomad, are you telling me that firing the gun, gangster style, one in each hand at your friends is not the right thing to do? Oh, how could you say that? It just looks so cool. I can't even finish that statement. I apologize, people.
I have never seen anybody that could hit anything. All right.
Oh.
Wielding the 2-gun hand method. I'm not saying that there isn't people that could do it because I'm sure there are. Right. I've seen some phenomenal shooters. Okay. And I mean phenomenal. Right. The stories that you hear about people shooting dimes out of the air, believe it or not, that's all true. There are people that can do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not one of them. Alright, I'm just gonna let you know right now.
Yeah, but it's not just the twin, it's gangster style. Turn the gun on its side. Don't try not to laugh too much. You turn the gun on its side when you're shooting because that adds to the accuracy.
Well,
Apparently.
in a certain sense, it can. Okay.
Okay.
Um, I can see why they would do it that way, but it's what you're trying to hit isn't more accurate. The fact is, though, the gun is at a more level kind of a holding point, right, and is likely not to go high. All right, when you jerk the
Yeah.
trigger, it's going to go to the side.
Yeah.
Right, because
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. It's going to go to the side. In which case, you didn't shoot the guy you were aiming at. You shot his neighbor. Right? you know,
Yeah.
you shot little Johnny who was just on a swing set going, "What's going?" Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I hate to say this, but this is how people die, and why these kids are dying in these gangland hits because of dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
That's the gangster holding the weapon at the side. Especially if you got two and you try to fire them together, you're gonna be swap. I can just see them banging into one another. Bang!
Yeah. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, if you really, really want to have a fun time in the military, do that in front of the sergeant and see what happens. Because life's going to get really exciting for a very short
If
period
he's
of
got a
time.
rifle, you're gonna get butt stroked.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna get butt stroked. Expect to get butt stroked.
Just saying. And thank you very much, Oz. Wow. Yeah, sorry, you just sent me a picture and it's disturbing. But hey, shows the absolute genius of people out there.
Enough about guns. Off to
Yeah.
and the stupid people with guns. Look, folks. If you don't know what you're doing with a gun, don't pick it up. Number one.
Yeah.
And number two is if you do know what you're doing, always remember that treat it like as soon as you pick it up, treat it like it's a live weapon. Do the very first thing you should always do is clear that weapon and ensure, and I mean check it visually. All right, from this that there's no round anywhere near it. Okay, even if you've got, I mean, it's simple to do, right? If you got a revolver, roll the barrel out so that or the cylinder out so that you can check the cylinder. Make sure there's nothing there, and I mean nothing. Yep. Okay. All right. If it's an automatic, drop the magazine. First thing, drop the magazine. All right. Next thing, pull it back and look down inside of there, and then look down the barrel. All right, in the charging area. Make sure there's nothing there, because I can tell you it'll save someone's life later on. We have one more story about a gun in a little bit, so just letting you know. But on to the next story. Enough about that for right now.
Yeah.
Twitter bans sharing of private media without permission. Twitter, down by 1.1% share, has expanded its rules to ban the sharing of images and videos of private individuals without permission. There are growing concerns about the misuse of media and information that is not available elsewhere online as a tool to harass, intimidate, and reveal the identities of individuals. All right, now Twitter just got rid of Jack Dorsey, right?
Yep.
Let's be perfectly honest. They didn't get rid of Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey said, "Time to bail." Okay?
Yep.
It's the writing's on the wall with this shit. Okay? And he popped smoke, as we say, and ran for the hills. Okay?
No, yeah. Don't blame him.
All right. He took his millions and millions with him. All right?
Mm-hmm.
But he popped smoke and ran. All right? It's only a matter of time. All right? Twitter is trash. I do have a Twitter account. I have not been using it for the past few months. All right? I have no intention of going back to using it.
Good.
Mainly because they can't live up to free speech. If you can't live up to free speech, then as the free speech standard. If you go too far down that rabbit hole, there's no use for you. There's no use for it. Okay, all it is a left wing circle jerk. That's all it is nowadays, right? It's them getting together as in an echo chamber, right, and talking dumbass shit. They're not trying to improve a conversation. They're not trying to have a conversation. None of these people are, because none of them think. They all want to emote on each other, right? You want to talk about the feminization of Western society? Go on Twitter. You will see the result. Okay? You will see the result because people will not talk to one another. They will emote to one another all day freaking long. And you can point this out. It's not about... And I'm not... When I say that, I'm not just talking leftists.
Yeah.
The right, the people, everyone that's on there is basically trying to get a rise out of people, get an emotion out of people, get emote out of people. They're not trying to have an actual conversation.
No, I agree.
I've tried. I've tried repeatedly. And when you start pointing out facts to people, the first thing that they always seem to do is they'll bring in a non sequitur that has nothing to do with anything, right? In an attempt to derail the conversation. And if that fails, okay, then they'll just basically I disagree with your where you got your information at. I just disagree with it.
Yeah.
It has, okay, you can disagree with facts if you want. They don't change. Right? So, yeah, I'm not sorry that I quit Twitter. I'm really not.
Good. It is toxic waste online. It's no other way I can put it.
Yeah,
but
it serves no use. It has no useful purpose anymore. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Now, folks, I know a lot of people have been concerned. Well, a lot of people have been scared. It's been widely reported that Russia and China, that there's a missile gap between us and China. They've got this hypersonic missile, and that we're behind, and that we got to worry about China. They're going to tell us what to do. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Do not fear. We have the solution, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got the Beeb. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've weaponized Justin Bieber. All right, we can get Putin to do whatever we want. He'll back down immediately, because if he don't, we'll send you Beeb over. We will threaten you with Justin Bieber. Oh, they're shaking in their boots now, folks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, weaponizing Bieber, the pop star, is caught up in the Saudis. We're going to bend the Saudis to our will. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he probably never expected it, but Canadian pop star Justin Bieber has found himself at the heart of an ideological row, all right, between Saudi Arabia and the rights activists that could rumble for years. Yes, they quake in terror. The sheiks, right, who basically beat a woman on sight if she's ever seen, where's your hijab? Not anymore. Did you see her drive that car? Not anymore. Bieber's there to save him. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Bieber, 27, is scheduled to appear in front of an audience at thousands at Sunday's post-race show in Jeddah, which also features superstar French DJ David Guetta and American singer Jason Derulo.
Oh, great. Derulo. In other words, we're sending over the absolute scrapings at the bottom of the barrel and hoping it does something. Awesome.
Yeah, that'll fix things.
No, actually, I'm going to counter that.
Fire the Beeb!
Think about it, okay? If they actually kill Justin Bieber, the average reaction from around the world would be a sigh of relief. It's not going to cause a war. It's going to cause world peace as we all come together and celebrate that he's gone.
Are you saying that this is going to cause a mass celebration? Is that what you're trying to say here, Jenson?
Yes, yes, it is. The fact that Beeb, or the Beebster, or however term you wish to use, his death could cause world peace and everyone coming together and being friends.
La 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 la
Wow.
la 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 la.
Oh, in all fairness, okay, if you've got a choice of an ICBM or launching Bieber at somebody, I say you launch B because nobody is going to take that as a threat. Hell, they're probably just going to go, no, we understand, totally.
Launch him on the ICPM.
I'm saying nothing.
You think we can take an asteroid out? An asteroid's getting ready to hit the Earth. Send the beam. Launch the beam.
I'd do it. He'll just sing at it and the asteroid will go, but he's got to be really close. Yeah, we could use that as an excuse. He's actually got to be within 10 foot of it so he can sing and he'll save the world. We'll even give him a mask that he's got to take off when he gets there. How about that?
General, the beam didn't work. It seems to have gone off course. All right, send the Manson. Marilyn Manson's L.A. home is raided. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, L.A. County Sheriff raids his home in a sexual assault investigation.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
Marilyn Manson, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, one, okay, I'm not actually joking, but based on things I've heard, that he, and yes, technically he's male, he is actually a really decent guy. So this whole accusation seems off to me. I'm not going to declare it as a lie. I'm just saying it doesn't seem quite right to me.
Yeah. Marilyn Manson's home was crawling with detectives from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and it's related to his ongoing sexual assault investigations, the TMZ has learned. Our law enforcement sources tell us that the Special Victims Unit detectives went to the Shock Rockers' home on West Hollywood early Monday morning, executing a search warrant. We're told Marilyn was not home at the time, and law enforcement entry was with a warrant in hand. Our sources say that the search warrant is in connection with ongoing probes into sexual assault allegations against Marilyn, and police have seized media storage units, including hard drives, which will be reviewed before the case is submitted to the Los Angeles County's district attorney. ZMZ broke the story. Cops started digging into abuse allegations when Marilyn Manson, back in February, meeting with one of his alleged victims. As we reported, Marilyn Manson is accused of locking a woman in a soundproof room in a home, something he allegedly did to punish them.
I'm not going to say learn your place. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Oops.
Is that sexual assault?
Good question. Actually, technically, no, it's not.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm not trying to defend this guy, all right? But
yeah.
let me see if this makes sense to you. Would you like to see my recording studio? Yes, okay, it's right in here in this soundproof area, right? He walks back out, does another line of coke, falls asleep on the couch. The woman can't get out.
Yeah, that's possible. That's the problem. That is probably what happened.
All right, I'm not a Marilyn Manson fan. All right, it wouldn't surprise me if he was doing things. All right, all right. But at the same time, I'm just saying, you know, just putting it out there, and.
I'm agreeing with Susan.
Sorry.
No, Susan's got it right. Soundproof to get away from the bitching. You are so right, Susan. You really are. And only a woman could get away with saying that. I'm not saying that all men weren't thinking it, but only a woman could get away with saying it.
I wasn't thinking it, but now that it's said, it's like this is an option. this, there's merit to this. I can see where people are going with this.
Hint, hint, Oz. Maybe you want to build yourself a soundproof room. That's all I'm saying.
From the Babylon Bee. Right? Planned Parenthood executive looking very nervous for someone who's only going to lose 3% of the revenue. As the nation's high court met Tuesday to consider potential restrictions on abortion rights, a group of sweaty Planned Parenthood executives huddled in a conference room listening to opening arguments, looking extremely nervous for people who are set to lose 3% of their revenue if abortion is outlawed. One member of the group, FCO Ian Fanticide. All right, Ian Fanticide. All right, spoke solemnly to his reporters about what a potential overturning of Roe versus Wade would mean for the country. As you know, Planned Parenthood provides a number of women's health services to the community, Fanticide said. If abortion rights were overturned or severely restricted, we may not be able to stay in business. The reporter pressed Fanticide on his remark, as Planned Parenthood has routinely said that abortion is only a small percent of what the group does. It's true that abortion is only 3% of what we do. However, 94% of our revenue comes from things like abortion counseling, abortion-related paperwork, and selling fetal parts with the vaccine manufacturers. And they're not wrong.
No.
The sad part. This is a parody site, folks. But there's more truth to that parody than you're ever going to find on MSNBC or CNN.
Oh, yeah.
I not trying to, not trying to take the mickey at anybody. I just put it out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, right? With this, now let's talk about the Supreme Court for the moment in Roe v. Wade.
Okay.
All right, because I will be shocked if they actually do what they're supposed to do, right? Which is overturn Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade was a horrible decision. It has nothing to do with abortion, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. If tomorrow Roe v. Wade gets overturned, abortion does not become illegal across the United States. Okay, that doesn't happen.
No.
Right, and in fact, what happens is it goes back to the states to define when does life begin. Okay, now during these oral arguments, one of the supporters that we know of, one of the quote-unquote Mensa candidates, all right, dumbass by the name of Sotomayor, made a comment. And it's a damn good... See, this is why I could never be an attorney on these things, because I'd be like, that's just effing stupid. Right? She said, well, isn't when life begins, isn't that totally a religious argument? Because the state, you're saying that the state has an interest in this, but the state doesn't have an interest in it if it's religious, and this is just a religious argument. Really? Okay. What religion is the fetus? What religion is a day-old baby?
Mm-hmm.
Defining when that begins, all right, has nothing to do with religion.
No.
Okay? Defining when people deserve state protection has nothing to do with religion, you frickin' moron! And you're a Supreme Court justice, and you wonder why we're having problems in this country with idiots like this on the Supreme Court!
Yeah.
Do you get it now, folks?
Mm-hmm.
You have idiots. We have idiots. And the highest thing in the land. And these are supposed to be the best and the brightest. And they make a comment that gets knocked out of the park because it's like, that's just stupid. You can say that's philosophical if you want, and to some degree it has to be. But the point at which life begins being defined, who gets to decide that? Who should be the ones to get to decide that is the next question. Should that be society as a whole, by the people's representatives, or should that just be by a bunch of unelected bureaucrats? Supreme Court justices.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is better serving the community? Do you get it now? Who these people are? What this is all about? Roe v. Wade is not about abortion. It's not about privacy rights either. Oh, it's about the right to privacy. Where's that in the Constitution? I've said this many times to idiots like Mad Dodge. If you remember correctly, I pointed out repeatedly, all right, that there is no section in the Constitution that sits up there and says you have a right to privacy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be in there. I'm not saying we shouldn't codify it. But currently, there is nothing in there that talks about a right to privacy in the Constitution of the United States. Not even written. Nowhere. And if you want to talk about the intent, if you want to talk about the founding intent to things, to come back and base the abortion ruling on the 14th Amendment, I'm sorry, but you've jumped the shark. You've jumped the shark. It's way over the line. Sorry, but that's the way it is. You can argue with me if you want. You can tell me I'm wrong. Okay. But abortion should always have been left up to the legislation. All right. It always should have been done through the legislation. Always. Mm-hmm. Society always should have been the ones determining when a child's life has worth. And it's been that way throughout society. It's been that way throughout time as well. I hate to tell you this, but back in the old days, back in the days of Sparta, and I know a lot of people think that I was part of this, all right, they used to examine each child, and if the child had a defect on them after the child was born, they were flung off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
The Phoenicians used to sit up there and burn them as ritual sacrifices to the gods.
Yeah.
We, however, well, we're going to have these justices, you know, who, look, Sotomayor, shut up. Please go away. All right? It's unfortunate that they ever put someone as obviously incompetent and as obviously stupid as you on the Supreme Court. You've lowered the standards of everything. I would love to have Candace sit up there and explain to me why she thinks that Sotomayor would be a good choice for this. Now, I'm not saying that Candace believes that, all right? But it would be an interesting argument to see it as Candace Lynn is, you know, she at least is a lawyer. She can at least try to argue the merits for the woman.
Yeah.
Because this woman is she's just a moron. she's just a freaking moron.
Let's be honest, you've already said before that you know, without wanting to seem too harsh, but your country is basically no longer deals with the law. Basically, the rights of laws no longer really apply, because let's be honest, why should people really give a damn about laws? I seem to remember hearing about one of your guys saying something like, even though the law has said that Carl Rittenhouse was not guilty, we should change the law. Is it just me, or does that seem, I don't know, wrong to anyone else?
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, changing laws change all the time. I mean, that is the process.
Yeah,
But the thing is
yeah.
why in this case do you think that Kyle Rittenhouse is deserving anything, right? Do you have the right to defend yourself or not? So you don't believe in the right to defend yourself? Okay, well, you're gonna have to change the Constitution. Just putting it out there. But
Yeah.
Sotomayor, the comment she made, it was like, I was listening to that. They were playing it, and I was like, "This woman is an idiot." So that's what I say. My problem would have been is when she asked that question. I said, "Are you stupid?" That's the first thing that came to my mind. Honestly, are you stupid? And it would have come out of my mouth. This is not how you argue in a court of law. You don't look at the judge and go, "Are you dumb?" You don't look at the person and go, "That's one of the dumbest statements I've ever heard."
Yeah, I get a bit upset at that.
You made a claim, right? That it's only a religious issue. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with religion. See, my line of questioning to Sotomayor would have been along the lines of, "Do you believe atheism is a religion?" Kind of important distinction here, right? Are atheists religious? Is it a religion? Now, hey, I'll be honest with you. I believe it is. I've said this before. All right. I've said it before, but if atheism is not a religion, right, then how can this be a religious argument if the abortion is happening to an atheist?
Mm-hmm.
See a point?
No, I agree with you.
A Supreme Court justice can't work this logic out. Mensa candidates.
According to Susan, she's losing sound. I can hear you clearly for obvious reasons, but I'm just letting you know.
No, I was speaking kind of softly there. Let me see if I can. I was doing that, but I can rearrange some things here. Let's play around a little bit. Uh-oh.
Yeah. By the way, thanks, Susan. Now I'm going to go deaf.
How's this? Is this better?
I guess so, but I'm just pointing out that Susan is saying that she's been losing sound.
Is this better?
Can everyone else hear him? Would you mind putting a 1?
1, 2,
in the
3,
thing?
4, 5. It does look like it's losing sound though on the thing here.
Okay.
Unless I'm actually speaking closely into the microphone, which I don't generally try to do.
Yeah, what they're trying to cut us down. That's what it is. They're trying to kill us out. That's it.
Well, in this case, it looks like it's OBS. So I mean, it is what it is.
Okay.
OBS may be reacting to something. Let me pull this over here and see what happens now.
Mm-hmm.
How's this?
I'm going to assume it's okay.
Okay, ready for the next story?
Go for it.
Speaking of lawyers. Florida woman arrested Saturday on felony narcotics charge told police that she sells fentanyl to make money to pay for her attorney for a pending drug charge.
I don't know what to say.
Nicole Gregory, 28, was busted after sheriff's deputies spotted her dropping a bag that held 4 baggies containing the synthetic opioid. The defendant did intend to sell the substance, the investigator alleged. After being collared on the St. Petersburg street, Gregory reportedly admitted that she sells the drug for $10 per bump. Gregory then claimed that she was selling narcotics as a way to make money for an attorney for a pending drug charge. According to court records, Gregory was arrested last month for selling methamphetamine to an undercover cop. In August, he was charged with possessing fentanyl and meth. Both cases are pending in circuit court. Do you
Yeah.
realize, I hate to say this, but do you realize that what she has done has made sure that she will never get an attorney? That they're going to have to appoint one for her, because I would not, as an attorney, I would not take her case. They could
No.
seize your entire assets under RICO statute, saying it was gotten from illegal gains for drug use. We have an admitted person here.
Yeah. Good, isn't it?
I'm going to pay you with drug money. Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Well, I told the cops. They already know. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Great. Thanks. Excuse me while I shoot myself in the head.
What's that number to the Caymans? We're going to have time to hide the money now.
Swiss bank accounts are your friend. Just saying.
Actually, if you're going to hide money somewhere, do it in Liechtenstein, but that's a separate issue. Serious comment.
Right.
The rules protecting Liechtenstein's banks are far more severe than the ones that the Swiss use.
Which is quite funny when you work on the idea of who it was used the Swiss to hide their money. No, we're not going to say their name because we don't need to. No. We all know exactly who we're talking about.
What, everybody? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, but specifically a certain group around the 1939 to 1945 area, whose name we're not going to say out loud.
Stalin?
Okay, him too.
I mean, let's be honest. Arafat?
Well,
I mean, let's talk about some.
I can't argue. Yeah.
It's not like you know, when you're dealing with everybody, and I mean everybody.
Yeah.
When we talk about unsavory people, there's not just one type of unsavory individual that you're dealing with these people. There's a lot of them. There really is.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there, you know. Just.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah. Hey, Captain Colpar, long time, man.
Welcome, Captain, back. Welcome back, Captain, I should say.
Yeah, go for English. Go on, why not? Try it out, see how it works.
Yeah, when you guys figure out how English is actually spoken, let me know, and how spelling works. Okay. So,
yeah, no, we will. Shame you'll never learn. Carol.
You come up with words. We use the words. You tell us that we're wrong for using the words. I mean, it's
yeah,
the British have
stop talking.
The British have never stopped. We're going to tell you what we think of your language, and if you don't like it, we'll give you to the Scots.
Yeah, but that's cruel. We'd never do that to you. You're not that bad. Come on.
Tell it to Dankula. But he is a Scot.
Fair point.
Elon Musk tells SpaceX employees that Starship engine crisis is creating a risk of bankruptcy. Really? I don't think that that's the case. Right? Elon Musk is angry with the lack of progress SpaceX has made in developing the Raptor engines that power its Starship rocket. He described a dire situation the day after Thanksgiving in a company-wide email, a copy of which was obtained by CNBC. The Raptor production crisis is much worse than it seemed a few weeks ago, Musk wrote. Rocket science is hard. Isn't it, Elon? All right? Made a lot of promises about that Raptor engine, didn't you? Okay. Just there's a reason I'm laughing, folks. There's a reason I'm laughing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain to people about the Raptor engine in a little bit here. We face a genuine risk of bankruptcy if we cannot achieve a Starship flight rate of at least one every 2 weeks next year. That's impossible. There is no way you could be firing off a rocket every 2 weeks. Do you realize that's 26 launches?
Yeah.
Okay? How are you ever going to achieve that? Do you realize what it takes to get a rocket ready to go? And even then, if you've been following this, half the time, or even more than half the time, it doesn't launch.
Yeah.
They get it ready, and for whatever reason, something's not right. They cancel the launch. How are you ever going to achieve a launch of one every 2 weeks, averaging? All right. Now,
Mm-hmm.
with that, let's talk about these Raptor engines. Okay. These Raptor engines are using a technology, okay, that was developed by the Soviets. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is a very efficient motor because of how it uses the exhaust to refunnel the exhaust back in to heat other components that need to be heated as the fuel, because you got to remember this fuel that's coming in is very cold, right? So you got to preheat this stuff before you actually throw it into the combustion chamber, or you lose efficiency. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. So in order to gain that efficiency back, they actually steal a portion of the exhaust and run it back through to help heat those areas to go into, and then add it back in, right? So it's very efficient, and a very efficient process like that. It has a problem, however, in that when you do that, the pressures necessary, okay, often cause failures in the material. This was the problem. This is why the Soviets failed to win the space race, because they were using this technology on their N-21 rockets. And yeah, the engines would work. Okay? However, when you've got when you're not dealing with just one engine but multiple engines, and you have a failure rate of even 15% or 20%, the rocket tends to go.
But
And if anybody's
isn't that
been
an important thing on rockets, the engine? No, I can't see that being that necessary.
okay. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, yeah, but we got better materials now. We got all this other stuff. Have you been following SpaceX? Have you been following how they've been working with these Raptor engines? Have you noticed how many times the Raptor engines have failed? They normally send up a Raptor cluster of about 3. And it seems like every time they do that, one of them fails. Not on startup, believe it or not. That's okay. But on restart,
Mm-hmm.
right, when they're trying to land that back on a pad or something, one of them has been failing.
Yeah.
One of them has been failing. All 3 are not been happening. It's happened almost every single time. If you can't get that to work on a cluster of 3, what's going to happen when you got a cluster of 9 now and you're trying to land?
Yeah.
And it's you've got to get past this. You've got to figure out a way to fix that. And guess what? The Soviets couldn't figure a way to do it. That's not saying that we don't have new stuff and new technology, but the challenges there is much greater than people realize. There's a reason NASA said, to hell with that, just build them big. Okay? There's a reason that the Saturn V engines are considered the most reliable engines ever. Because even if you look at it and you're like, wow, look at all that thing, it is simple in comparison to these Raptor engines. They are simple. And there's a reason keep it simple, stupid works. Okay? The more simple something is, the less points of failure are possible. I don't feel bad for Elon. But I just his... You're going to tell me you need to achieve 26 flights next year in order to make money? It's not happening.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not happening, and I'm not doing that story. Final story of the day. You ready?
Okay, go for it, mate.
Webcam model shot herself in the private parts. Remember what I was talking about? I'm going to revisit the gun issue.
Mm-hmm.
A webcam model accidentally shot herself in the vagina with a 9mm handgun while recording a video earlier this month in her Georgia home, according to a police report. Responding to an accidental gunshot wound call at a residence in Thomaston, a city 40 miles from Macon, a sheriff's deputy encountered an EMS worker in the property's driveway around noon on November 9th. The paramedic, who was holding an unloaded handgun and a spent bullet casing in her hands, explained that the female shot herself in the vagina accidentally.
Poor woman.
According to the interviews with other residents of the home, deputies determined that Lauren Hunter Damon, 27, was apparently alone inside her bedroom when the gun discharged. She borrowed it from Alec Baldwin.
Oh. Yeah.
Jordan Allen, who said that he owned the firearm, told deputies that he was in the kitchen, that she wasn't alone. All right? When he heard a gunshot, upon reaching the bedroom, he found Damon, seen above, with a small amount of blood on her leg, advised that she had started saying that she was really sorry. He advised that she told him that she shot herself accidentally. Allen told deputies that Damon has subscribers on a sexual web platform called Chatter, and that she makes sexual videos of herself and people pay her to see them. I don't want to know what was happening with this poor 9mm. It probably opened fire on her in self-defense.
Sorry. No, mate, it could have been worse, mate. It just makes you think, what's going on with pump action shotgun, given this situation. And there it is. Right? It just says it all, doesn't it? How that's gonna wince.
Folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta love the genius of some people, don't you?
A handgun is not a dildo. Okay? A shotgun is not a gerbil. Okay? I want you to understand this.
But a job with a shotgun could get interesting.
Don't make suggestions.
If that comes up on the news next week, I'm sorry. Okay.
I gotta find out if this woman was arrested. Right. The shooting,
Yeah.
which police classified as a reckless conduct, is unlikely to result in criminal charges. Okay, so no.
Mm-hmm.
All right, she was broadcasting live when the gun discharged. All right. All right, they don't know if she was recording live or if she was recording the video to be uploaded to Chatterbait.
Yeah. So many comments.
Kilgore said that with her claiming that at one point the gun went off during a consensual sex act with Alan. Oh, okay. So they're saying that the guy was involved with the consensual sex act when he pulled the trigger. I mean,
I know. I'm going
Alan
to
is
say
the gun.
I'm going to say this, and I may well get in trouble with it, but I don't care. What you're telling me is you cocked the gun, then, huh?
It was a cock up of some sort.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Had to be said.
You can't make these stories up. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
You can't make these stories up. All right, that's Jensen. That's the photo story for today. So.
Okay. Well, just before we go, I would like to point out that on the 11th of December, there will be a stream for about Dodge and Cabby's Wake. It will be at around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can do the calculations for yourselves. If you can be there, all good. If you can't, we totally understand. Now, thank you for doing that, Nomad. That was just horrifying, but it was funny. And thank you very much, people, for coming out and listening to us talking random weird stuff. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.